What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Kurt.
I need to face myself and find out who I am.
Ironically, that's the whole point of this album. You guys
That's why we're here.
Y'all seen the thumbnail? Y'all
Literally face off now.
Y'all seen the title? Y'all know why y'all here.
Set me free.
Jimin Set Me Free Part 2. This is your first time on the channel, hit the subscribe button, become a real redeemer today. Also, for more content like this, jump on the Patreon. We're literally going to be getting into as many live performances of Jimin today as we can. I think he did KBS joints too. And I don't even kind of remember any of them kind of just doing KBS joints.
Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar with the...
This media push is serious.
Yeah, the differentiations of the media push.
Yeah, a couple of these different Mnet ones. The Stechita stuff is up on there. Today we're going to be looking at the behind the scenes, the Bonton Bomb 2 behind the scenes for this too. Yeah, for the MV.
And also just like a little pre-shout out to just knowing that he was kind of on Fallon and everything, promoting over here and then coming back and doing, these performances and everything like that. Like he's really just been out and like, really busting his ass. So
yeah, the Jimmy Fallon stuff is also up on like the Patreon. They wound up blocking like everything.
I read the comments.
Yeah, they wound up like blocking everything on there. So yeah, I even had to upload stuff and stuff just because everything was like blocked when it wasn't, and try to argue the blocks, and it just wasn't going. But yeah, man. With that being said, let's jump into this. I'm very interested to see what these live performances are gonna be hitting for.
No, absolutely.
Jimin, Mommy, it's an angel.
I like the disorienting camera angle still. Oh man, upside down.
We don't deserve you.
Great opening.
Take me with you.
The fractured like letters on face. Jeez. Oh no, it's gonna be different.
Shit.
That's incredible.
Oh my god. I wish I was there.
Love the crowd. I figured they might bleep it. Yeah.
I was wondering if the crowd was gonna say it.
The crowd is turned the fuck up.
The guy was doing a little swing too.
I made my own choreo set.
Crowd's really into it too.
He eating. The crowd is in this shit. They like, put Jimin.
That's awesome.
I'm surprised they didn't jump on that.
That crowd. Oh shit. Hey. Let me free. even hear some of them ad-libs on the audio. Don't you dare lift. Bow to your God, King. This is. Park Jimin.
Walk out.
Park Jimin.
That's all right. That's incredible.
He caught me.
Brisket.
He was like, "Fuck all your ops. Fuck all your ops."
I'm with him.
Hey. Knock that kind of face off.
This is crazy, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Jump on the Patreon. This shit is up. We got all the Jimmy Fallon stuff on there. We got the album review stuff up on there. We got all the interview stuff is up on there. The Stachita stuff is up on there. Everything Jimin related is up on there. Stop missing Sundays.
It wasn't a Sunday. You said it was a Wednesday. I'm not.
Yeah, the Wednesday was a continuation. Oh well, don't cry about it. This was amazing. Super, super amazing. Jimin is it. He's him. He's Himothy. Himmin for sure. Once you him in, you can't him out.
Wait a minute. Timeout.
Yeah, he's just that guy. When he walks into a room, you feel the aura.
The smoke just like.
I hope no one else fucking performed tonight because their show didn't matter. This had to have been just a show for him. Like they just played this twice.
I mean, you saw the way Army was in that crowd.
They played this one like crazy, and we just went crazy. And shout out to Army too. Like you could feel their presence in there. Like it was Jimin blinked and just had the whole room just like
captivated,
just captivated and going through it. Man.
It's incredible the confidence and everything, the presence he has on stage for sure.
Yeah, like I just love it, and I guess, and obviously you're right, and obviously you can say this about Jimin almost at any era, in my opinion. But it's something about this era where, like, you know, his ability to snatch your soul, almost paraphrasing.
Everyone's leaning in like
it's like, what do you mean by that?
This is getting wild.
Yeah, I don't know, cause like I don't want to call this like the bad boy era of Jimin, because I know people didn't like that.
No More Dream.
Yeah, I also feel like there might have been No More Dreams. Might have been like his bad boy era too. But I don't know. He has like a certain like mystique. See, I feel like anything you say now with this era could also be used against you in the court of law with other eras. Because it would just be like, yo, he's sexy in this era. You can be like, oh,
but look at how much content they have.
I think Mystique works because, like, prior to this, the big question that we always had was, what would Jimin sound like without anybody else? That, in turn, is Mystique, mystery, like, what, the questioning of. So I think that might be fair.
Although I argue Lie and Filter don't sound like quote unquote BTS songs.
No, I agree.
Because we did that too. The people who do have solo songs, what songs sound like quote unquote BTS songs and what don't. And I think even when they were speaking on it on certain genres, where it was like, well, this sounded more like a BTS centric song versus this kind of just sound like a Hope song, or this kind of sound like someone else's song. But I do agree with you. The whole like. The mystery was like kind of what was going to be the sound. And I told you, I kind of include vibe in there, even though it's a feature. I'm loving all the content that he's been doing. He's been doing some of my favorite content out of the group as far as like the aesthetic and the sound that he decided to go with, with vibe as quote unquote the feature, and then him telling his 2020 story. But I love all this. I'm extremely proud of him. I think he's broke almost like everything and stuff, even broken a lot of like the solo records for like a South Korean artist, broke records over here in America and elsewhere too.
The album's apparently breaking records all over apparently too.
Yeah, so I'm proud. I'm super proud of that. Shout out to J-Hope too. I seen on the Weverse joint,
He was, like,
and sent me
at
the
one of the joints, right, or
notification.
something?
Well, more so the notification that like he filed in for all the paperwork, and he is going to the enlistment. And they haven't gave a date.
Yeah, that's most likely for privacy reasons.
Yeah, they said it. They was like they didn't want people just kind of super like showing up or doing anything else and stuff. But yeah, shout out to him too.
No, absolutely, definitely.
And then just shout out to Army. Like I said,
I saw that he came to support Jimin at one of the things too. I thought that's what you were alluding to.
Yeah, I had seen that too. But yeah, shout out to Army too, just for like the love and support with him. Just backing the album and really just doing everything to like show him how much like we love and appreciate him. So yeah, that's my spiel for right now.
I'm gonna keep it short. I thought this was great. I think the performance was very well done, very masterful, very clean. It did kind of, I don't know, I'm so used to like the futuristic blue dome aesthetic from the video that the Temple of Doom aesthetic kind of threw me off a little bit.
I love that.
I was waiting for dude to get lowered into the pit of fire with his heart missing. But
I wonder, is he gonna save the blue for the light crazy? That way you don't feel like you're in the same video kind of twice.
So what I kind of thought, if this was a continuous performance, if this was a if this was a continuous performance when he walks out, it would almost be like he would walk back in, but you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It'd almost be like he's walking from one room to the other. But all in all, I thought this was dope. They definitely a smaller stage than what looked to be the practice floor for the dance practice. But even when they're rotating in the square and he's walking through the ranks and columns of the group, still done clean, still done like without any issues or problems. Everything just fits. The only thing I won't even say I had an issue with, but definitely took notice of that I don't normally see Jimin do. And I understand the choreography's crazy. I get it. I
already know what you're about to say.
Right. Kind of letting the voiceover do some of the singing, but when he was singing, you definitely heard him singing, and he kind of made up for it at the end when he was kind of drawn a little bit. But other than that, I mean, I thought this was fire.
I wonder, was he saving some of the energy, Keith? Because I don't remember hearing, and I listened to this song quite a few times.
No, there wasn't.
Those runs aren't in the song.
Those runs aren't in the song.
No, and that was something I was taking away as well, where it really felt like some of the runs there, at least I didn't remember hearing them, but it was like when you really heard them, like it just, you feel the emotion so present. And I know like just filmmakers in general, we always talk about like actors and everything, like being present in the moment. And I'm not saying that like extends necessarily to everything, or has to have like a place in everything with music or anything, but it's just when you feel like those kind of moments that like you didn't expect necessarily, whether it's a background ad lib or whatever the case may be, it just like you feel that added emotion to it. It ends up hitting a level deeper. I mean, at least it certainly does for me. So that was something that I really appreciated as well. And in relation to what you had said, Keith, as far as like certain moments that he like was letting the voiceover kind of do it or whatever, or the track in the background, if you will, was the one part specifically that he didn't do was the auto-tune part with the rap. But I know we talked about like the narrative implications of kind of what that is as far as drowning out your voice and everything like that. So I thought that was actually a good choice, both for conserving energy and for kind of, basically if I'm trying to be me and like it's, I'm buried, if the auto-tune is like narratively conveying that like if I'm not singing that part, it's not me. You know what I mean? Like, so nonetheless, I thought that was like a good practical choice as far as like, energy, choreo, all those things.
But it was also at the most difficult part of the choreo, or not the most difficult, but the most physically exerting part of the choreo, the fast movements and
definitely.
all the quick snap choreo.
Definitely, and that's also tied in so well because that's the biggest change in the song as far as like on the production and because that's when they flip that switch to have it be autotune. So I think the flip of the switch mirrored that ironically within the choreography too for that intense part. So it did really make sense in that regard too. I really love the choreography in this. I certainly loved it in the MV and the dance practices that we're seeing and everything. But when you add kind of this aesthetic around it and everything, it really turns into something else almost. And I really like that too. As far as for one, that little pre-sequence in the beginning with all the fracturing and the mirror look and kind of like you're in a black room, I thought all that was really good for getting you kind of into the general feel of what everything's supposed to be beforehand. So I think that was well served as well. And then the actual like Temple of Doom aspect, I guess, as you would say, like kind of starting everything off. And for one, I really like that you pointed that out as well, where it was all like mostly blue in kind of the MV, at least for like the color proportions that were, or portions that were in the track. So when you get to see like the kind of oranges and fires and smokes, I really like that as well. But I like that they used it as almost like I'm in prison at the beginning and I'm free at the end. And we talked about that thematically, of course, but the like having them in prison kind of with the hell aspects around them, and then at the end with the blue lighting when he walks out that gate, like you feel that journey. And mind you, that was something I was
never know.
That was something a little hard for me to kind of differentiate as well, because when he turned around in the MV, his face wasn't lit and it felt like it had a negative kind of implication. And we talked about that potentially like other albums like picking up or stepping into another phase of that same bubble, I guess. But basically, when it was conveyed here, I thought like even though his face was like still not like necessarily smiling or anything like that, because he was giving kind of stone face. But I thought that was really cool that they did that as well, and you feel that change with the lighting and the set design going from like that orange and like hotness, hell if you will, to kind of more of the heavenly sort of aspect. And knowing that that's the last track on the album, I do think that's ultimately something that gave me a different context, I would say, in the song. And really, the last thing I was going to point out is in the beginning when he starts out and he's facing the camera, his head is turned one way in the beginning for like the darker side, I guess. But at the end, when he does that final turnaround, it's the opposite side of his face. So the whole theme of face and the face off and all that, I thought that was really cool that he kind of changed the side in which he was facing the camera too. But yeah, like all in all, this performance was really incredible. Choreo's crazy. I loved everything that we were hearing in his vocals, especially the added bits of ad libs or runs, if you will. The track is incredible, and he's been working his ass off, like we said. So just really proud of him, and Army for supporting, certainly in that crowd too.
Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to the backup dancers as well.
Can't say enough about them.
I thought like they did a phenomenal job. Because not like that was a gripe, but I remember when we watched the Fallon show, I thought that these dancers are personally better than the people that they had on there. You mentioned it first on there too, Keith, so shout out to you. Yeah, so like I thought the dancers did like phenomenal. And shout out to the camera work. We've had multiple instances tonight talking about these live performances and the camera work not being able to kind of catch a lot of formations or things to make this look dope. And I think they did a phenomenal job with a lot of the camera work here.
They really did.
I do agree with you that this is kind of like the first time that maybe you heard that second audio track like behind anybody. But I do think that it seems like it was done purposely, just because I think you hit it on it too, where it was just like, if that was the sacrifice to do some of the choreo and then to get those runs, I'll take that 100 out of 100 times. I already know Jimin knows how to sing. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if he was lip singing half the shit and was doing the choreo. I've heard way more than enough of him to know his voice is angelic. With that being said, I don't give a fuck if the whole track was doing it and he just was ad-libbing.
And fair enough too. Cool. Just to briefly double down on that is the fact that there's such a narrative being told and such a story being told within that like if you're trying to heighten the elements of like the themes of the song and the takeaways of the song, whether it's intensifying a choreo moment, certain gear in the wardrobe that might make certain notes harder to hit or anything like that. I know we see that for like special performances like Mama or anything like that. Not saying like them specifically or anything like that, but just people when you're trying to really boost the creativity within a song and you have to contribute to other fashions or elements within the track. That maybe something like that is something that could because I mean the track exists. We know he's singing it, tons of lives and everything like that, and certainly because he's been working so hard. But I don't mind when they kind of want to take an artistic liberty to kind of present more of a concept and or elevate the visual storytelling within that concept.
Yeah, because Keith, when that shit happens and that's just someone's stick, now it's an issue. Now it's like, bro, I ain't heard you sing live in the last 8 tracks.
Last 2 albums, I ain't heard you sing a word.
Yeah, so with Jimin in this particular case of shit, I kind of already know. Like, it wasn't as jarring, but it's I definitely seen it.
Yeah. He wasn't hiding it. He wasn't lipping it.
Nah,
what I mean?
It wasn't like
clearly.
You heard the ad libs,
right? He was clearly not singing it in certain parts, but he did do the beginning part, which is interesting because I know a lot of people didn't like that part. because his tone is not what they normally hear from Jimin. It was like a little bit deeper.
Yeah, fuck some of them people. The
Exactly.
trap Jimin voice.
Exactly.
You
I
also
thought it
are
was
starting
dope.
the track in a proverbial prison, so if you kind of make your voice a little bit more bassy and deep, that's really just a storytelling thing, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the crowd was fucking live, bro.
Crowd.
Crowd.
That's one thing I want to say too, and this was something with the Fallon thing as well. Like wherever he's had to go to promote this or do any press for it, he has absolutely been so well supported by the army that were around him, and I just think that's incredible. Like of course, Army's always going to support and everything, and they certainly have. But it's for him, and I'm not trying to get in, like too far off on a tangent or anything or spoil anything for Keith, but just between me and you, when we had seen Sachita, I'm not going to touch on anything too much, but when he was describing a bit of the nervousness of going about it yourself and being kind of solo for this, and he talked about that nervousness. It's just really, it makes it hit a lot harder when you know how worried and nervous he was, especially the spotlight of how many eyes are on him. To be as well received as he is, both in the sales and streams and all those kind of things, but more importantly in like the actual interactions and presence within the crowd itself. I just think that is something that certainly must mean a lot to him, but it feels really great to see that from an outside perspective as well.
Jimin slick too. He was showing midriff.
Oh yeah, he had it kind of
it's on purpose.
Like, I wanted the
he got it pinned up a little bit because normally he'll drop the shoulder joint. This time he's kind of hitting you with a little bit of midriff.
Background dancers was yeah.
Hashtag pressure. Yeah, if y'all not subscribed, I don't know what y'all doing. It's been fun here with the Redeemers. Y'all will love it here. I'm pretty sure y'all want to be notified as soon as like BTS content pops up or Jimin content pops up. Hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second, and it's a form of supporting the channel.
Absolutely.
Also, if you want to support more, go jump on the Patreon. We literally are about to jump into more Jimin content. Like we said, the Sechita stuff is up there. The album review 4 Face is up there. Jimmy Fallon interview is up on there. The Jimmy Fallon live performance is up on there. And we literally are about to jump into Like Crazy and a couple other stuff from KBS.
Awesome.
So it's up and it's stuck. We love y'all Redeemers. We're going to holler at y'all.
Take care.
Peace.